there was apparently a drill at Carnegie Elementary School yesterday. It was a Department of Defense activity, and they used the empty school to do that. Councilmember, I was not aware of it. Apparently, not everyone in the police department was aware of it, and although the police department did participate, it was a Department of Defense drill. There was the sound of gunfire. There were helicopters with people rappelling out of them onto the school grounds. I have to say that while I'm happy that we always work well with the Department of Defense, we have done these kind of drills in Houston before. There was a shocking lack of sensitivity to community concerns, particularly defense. We have done these kind of drills in Houston before. There was a shocking lack of sensitivity to community concerns, particularly in light of the current situation with and sensitivity around schools. I will apologize for not having been informed, and we'll try to make sure that that does not happen again without the appropriate level of community engagement, because to the extent that I don't even believe that the fire department was aware, and calls came into the fire department and there was some response. Councilmember Bradford.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor was out there yesterday in that area, not as part of the activity on another business activity, and that unfolded. And those exercises, as you have indicated, they are necessary and they do a lot of good. But not to give notice. The community was terrorized out there yesterday because they thought something very legitimate was going down. And quite frankly, for the first several minutes, I thought also. And then I learned, well, this is a drill. But I think for those who were responsible not to notify the community leaders, the elected officials, that this was going to occur in advance, and even the school children, because they were getting out of school, those kids were just frightened because they didn't know. We can do better than that in our city. I would hope that whoever's responsible learn that not only is the exercise important, but letting those know in the community and neighborhood that it's going to happen is very important also. I was going to pop off about it tomorrow at our pop-off session, but today is as good as any. Thank you.
I didn't want it to sit till tomorrow. And I mean, the school was empty, but this is, the community was extremely concerned, and I would have been as well, and was not an acceptable incident. Councilman Brown.
Thank you, Mayor, and I want to thank you so much for addressing this, because it was a concern. Because when I found out about it, it was just the communication among leadership that they didn't know. And I do support the Department of Defense when they do drills. But one of the things they talked about, Councilmember Bradford, was on how do you give notice, because you don't want to give notice saying that the military is going to be at Carnegie Elementary School at this time, at this place, doing practice target, gunfire, because they say they don't want people gathered around. They want it to be as friendly as possible. So I guess my concern would be there would have to be some type of policy in place, a protocol in place to notify the city's leadership, i.e. the Houston Fire Department, the police department, the mayor, to let them know so we can know the proper, because what we could have done was just notify the civic leadership and say, hey, if you receive phone calls, this is what's happening. Or they could have gave notice but don't give location, because they was really concerned because they heard automatic weapons going off, even though they were blank bullets. And that was just a concern, and the neighbors were really, really concerned. But Mayor, thank you for taking this. And like they said, when problems occur, that's how policies are created. So, and how do we look at this in the future for doing this, because they were really, really afraid. They didn't know what was going on yesterday. So thank you, Councilmember Bradford, and Mayor Parker, thank you so much for addressing this.
Yeah, Councilmember, there is the issue of you don't want to announce it 3 days in advance. Everybody comes with their lawn chairs to see what's going on, but you can a citizens net notice into that area, notification, a phone call to the leaders, the community leaders in the area, just immediately prior, and an appropriate perimeter around there, I think would solve that issue. Councilmember Noriega.
I'm very familiar with this because this is where my son's Vanguard High School was until 20 minutes ago. They've now moved to the new building behind the Federal Reserve. But if I remember correctly, there's like a little, like a stables next door with mules and horses and donkeys, and I can just see horses getting loose and running down the street. I mean, you know, it would be hard to figure out a less appropriate bunch of activities right next to a lot of horses. I mean, the whole thing's just amazing. And there are a lot of entities that didn't talk to us.
Yeah. Noted. And we are adjourned. We are in recess, excuse me, until tomorrow morning.